Then chronemics. My students will come to know something very new about chronemics. This is a little known subject, Shilpa ma'am. Time language, and last is vocalics. We will deal them more importantly in our different slides. Now let me move on to the gestures. What are gestures? Gestures are part of body language. Gesture is the movement of hands or neck, or even your nodding is a gesture, shaking hand is a gesture, calling someone is a gesture, putting your finger on your lips is a gesture. Now here is one gesture which is very common across the globe, which we may call it universal. But I would ask my students to note the difference, that the same okay, that has different meaning and different interpretations in some of the major countries that you can see on your screen. In UK and USA, this particular gesture means okay, and the same becomes money. See the difference. This is intercultural communication. This is the difference. The same in Japan becomes, or it is interpreted as what? Money. Now again move on to Russia. Again a very different country. Now there it means zero. In India, we follow two meanings. There are two interpretations of this gesture. One is okay and the other one is zero. Now see, Brazil, again an American country. Here the meaning of this gesture is taken as insult. So what I want my students to remember is that beware, be careful, be cautious about your body language when you are communicating across the cultures. Now, we have another, that is telephone gesture.
The telephone gestures, here we mean that the different interpretations of one gesture. As in the earlier slide, we saw the same sign can have different meanings, and it can mean differently to different cultures. The same way in Western cultures, the students can have a look at the slide over there. In Western culture, you have this slide that is going to mean that do you have a telephone? You can see the picture. This means do you have a telephone? But in Brazil, the same can be as a cuckold, your wife is cheating on you. Okay. Now in USA, the same sign will denote that is a sign for the Texas Longhorns. So it is important to understand the different cultures and their effects.
Now we move on to our next slide. It is again a variety in body language, the variations in body language, and I would like my students to again note down, we have in Gujarat a tendency that we would like to establish ourselves in any country abroad. I would like to draw your attention that it is said that in the world every seventh person is a Gujarati. In US, Gujaratis are ruling the economy. The Patels of Gujarat are ruling the motels of America. So we need to, if we are going America, if you are interested in going America, you need to know the American cultural differences, particularly body language. That will minimize the barriers and you will become more acceptable there. Americans, they keep themselves away from greetings and embracing or hugging each other, making direct contact. Though we know there is a common notion that Americans are very free, very open. But again, this is very important to note that they don't enter into hugging at the very first meet. Again, the second point is regarding the way the Americans sit and their sitting posture. When they sit, they try to look very relaxed. Sometimes they sit with an ankle leg on their knees. In India, or generally we know it as body cross, it's not overlapping our leg, but it is keeping the ankle on the knee. So that makes them feel relaxed. But in other cultures, this may be considered as indecent. So one needs to understand these variations. Now we have another picture, another slide which tells us about the Arabs.
It is understanding the Arabs. That is, the Arabs considered, the left hand is considered unclean in Arab countries. So if you put out your left hand to doing some action, it is not considered to be good. Even while sitting, Arabs will keep both the feet on the ground, and the closeness of the feet is being seen. Even the thumbs up sign is offensive throughout the Arab world. So for understanding these different gestures, one has to have the basic knowledge for intercultural communication.
You know, it's very interesting to know, Shilpa, that this thumbs up, which is considered as best of luck, isn't it? All the best of luck. You know, this has a completely different connotative meaning in the Arab world. And if you do this there, you know, many of our Gujaratis, many people are there in the Gulf countries, and if they unknowingly they do this, they will have a very negative impact on the people of Arab. So we need to be extra careful when we are talking about body language or when we are establishing our say in some other culture. Another feature is oculesics, that is the science or the study of eye contact.
Eye contact. It is sometimes very rude to have a direct contact with the persons, because if you look even eye to eye, it can be held as a rude gesture. But in the US, the easiest and the most effective way to connect with people is it to look in your eyes. But basically, when we are in a face-to-face conversation, normally it is good that you have a specific direct eye contact, so the person understands, and it is there that you directly are understanding the person, and even the emotions are emoted out when you look at the person.
Now, if she's making eye contact with me and I am looking somewhere else, that means here that direct eye contact is missing, which will have a very negative interpretation that either I am ignoring her or I am trying
showing
to
no interest.
I'm showing no interest. Fine. Now, in different cultures, particularly, we find that I'll give you one example. We had in one seminar women coming from Bengal and Bangladesh. Now, these women, they were brought up in a very different cultural environment. We had our conference in Shimla, and it was a 3-day conference, and there they were not able to open up or even make eye contact within those 3 days, because they were born and brought up in a very different culture. So even eye contact varies from culture to culture. So what one needs to do is note these little nuances about various aspects. Like, for example, in the Arab world, people share a great deal of eye contact and regard too little eye contact as disrespectful. See, this is something which is very different, which is very unique in itself. Fine. So a great deal of eye contact is acceptable in Arab world, and little eye contact is considered as disrespectful. Now take the same case in England. Too much of eye contact makes many people uncomfortable. So, you know, these things, these variations are the characteristic features of intercultural communication. And if you do not respect or identify them, then there are going to be misunderstandings and miscommunication, leading again to so many barriers. Now, one more slide that tells us about eye contact. That is, in South Asian countries, direct eye contact is regarded as rude and aggressive, even in some parts of our nation.
Even in India, you can take the examples, like we do not have a direct contact with our elders. Or even in some states, or maybe in some, now we are saying cultures, so we can say that even in India, women are not allowed sometimes to have a direct eye contact with their elders. Or with
even the strangers.
Basically with the male counterparts, which they have.
Very true. So one needs to respect these cultural differences. Now we move on to our another slide, which is associated with haptics. Now my students have heard this particular word, I think, for the first time. Haptics means touch language, communication through touch. Fine. And shake hand is one of the most important gesture to communicate through touch. Now we have categorized the countries into 3. One section or one category that indicates do not touch. stay away from me, don't come closer. These countries are Japan, USA, as we discussed earlier, Canada, and England. Then there is a group wherein touch is acceptable, and in some context or in some situations people they do not like that one should come in direct contact. These countries are our own India, China, Ireland, and France. My students, if they sit and if they use internet, they can find definitely so many other examples of such countries across the globe. Now the countries where touch is welcomed, that is Italy, Middle East, Portugal, and Spain. So if by chance, even for vacation or even for studies or working, if you happen to visit these countries, make sure you know and respect these cultural variations.
Okay. Now the very prominent gesture here, which we are going to use it as a handshake. Handshake is extremely important because in business communication, the initial setup, when you meet a person, you need to present yourself with a handshake. So now here we take the different handshakes. That is, handshake, what are the positive messages that you give through a handshake is that you like to take things in control. You are showing the superiority. Here you can have the slide in which you can see two persons having a handshake. Even
Shall we demonstrate?
We can demonstrate to them. So this is the way you make your handshake.
This is called as a classic handshake. Clear? Now if I am a dominating personality, what I'll do is I'll try and turn over her hand. That means I am trying to dominate her.
Yeah,
right?
she's there. She's showing her superiority
Yes.
over me.
Yeah.
So this is like maybe a boss can do this with
boss
the superiors.
can do this, yes, and a person with superiority complex can also do that.
Yeah.
And one needs to understand this very importantly, that the person who is turning over the hand, that person is a hard nut to crack. If you are into meetings, if you are into some other business situations, what you need to do is handle that person with little more strategy and little more care. So remember, whenever you are making handshake, next time see what is your handshake. Let's have some other example. Now this is the handshake which is giving control. Just have a look at our handshake. Now when I am extending my hand, here I am extending my hand. Now see how I am extending my hand. My hand is down and I am submitting her. I'm not trying and doing this. I'm submitting or surrendering to her in this manner. That means what kind of a person I am? Submitting, surrendering.
Maybe you want some protection.
Yes.
Even you can have a clue with that the person is seeking for some kind of protection.
It's a defensive kind of an action also, a defensive kind of gesture also, and it also tells that this person is easy going, and that it will not be difficult to handle this person. So be very careful about your handshakes. Now this is a very interesting handshake. This is known as a dead fish handshake. My students, I know most of you might be vegetarian and fish, looking at fish even is very icky. But yes, if you have seen fishes, dead fishes particularly, how they are very cold and the scales are very rough. And you might have seen that there are some people who do not have any energy in their hand. I would just like you to focus on my hand, that if we shake hand in a dead fish manner, your hands are very weak, feeble, they are cold, sometimes even sweaty, and this has a very negative meaning.
This is going to show that the person is not interested in communication at all.
Now this is what
This
a
is
dead
the
fish handshake. Fine.
You are not interested in meeting the person, and you are not ready to communicate or have in contact with the person. Totally disinterested.
Either you are not happy, or you are not feeling comfortable, or that you are a weak person. That means you are not capable of taking the right decisions at the right time. Either you are lacking in confidence, or you are hesitant, or you are suffering from some inferiority complex, there are variety of messages that are conveyed by this dead fish handshake. And I know, Shilpa madam, my students will not like to have this dead fish handshake.
No,
So
no,
check
that is not
yourself
a good sign
next
at
time
all.
when you make handshakes. Now we move on to another very important category, which is sometimes not regarded as important. That is sharing, taking, and giving gifts.
Gifts. Everyone loves to have gifts, isn't it? Even somebody comes with a gift, everyone is happy. We feel so happy. But how do we now differentiate the process of gift giving culturally? So here we have now the inappropriate ways to open up the gifts, and even which are the gifts those will be appreciated in different countries. Here we have in the slide, the students can have a look at the different gift unwrapping gifts and the appreciated gifts. Now, even as we discussed that in India, Anshu ma'am, I think the gift giving, I don't think so anyone will like if you are offered alcohol, that is wine or liquor. But in countries like Turkey or other countries, the Western countries mostly, it is a normal thing. These kinds of gifts are appreciated.
Yeah. Now, let me just tell you, when you are visiting a place or a region of different culture, what you become is ambassadors of your own culture. Yeah. So, there as ambassadors of your own culture, you are representing your nation, you are representing your country. So you need to gift them those things which may identify with your culture, but at the same time respecting their culture. Yeah? And what is most important in communication is courtesy and you attitude, shifting the importance from us to the others. That is known as you attitude. We do not need to follow we attitude, that I am superior or my country is better, my gifts are better. Clear? So adopting you attitude minimizes all such intercultural or cross-cultural barriers. Now for example, opening of our gifts. Whenever we receive gifts, we are dying to open it. Now in Saudi Arabia, this is not the case. People, they don't like to open or unwrap the gifts in public. They will choose a private place to open the gifts. But again in USA, gifts are open in public. People love to open the gifts in public. So if you tend to visit these places, make sure that you don't open the gifts. If you are going to Saudi Arabia in public, and if you are going to US, you can with pleasure